Good morning.
Hello, Orna here again from ornaonline.com. So I'm in my beanie, keeping my head warm because I am just back from a marathon 2-hour swim session. It is 7 days until my very first triathlon, and I'm getting all geared up mentally and physically, obviously, as well. So I'm getting excited, but I want to talk about something that has kind of cropped up over the last few days that never actually occurred to me until the last few days, until now. We've gotten down to single digits to the race, or to the triathlon day. It's never come up, and it's something that, even to an extent this afternoon, the emotions and the thoughts that I was having on it were completely different to the ones that I'm having this evening. So, as I mentioned just there, I'm 7 days away from my very first triathlon. So this time, it's it's nearly 8 o'clock in the evening. So this time next week, I will be finished, done and dusted with my first triathlon. My first triathlon is going to be a sprint triathlon, 750-meter swim, 20k cycle, 6k run. Well prepared for it now at this point. But having said that, while I'm physically prepared, over the last few days in particular, I have found that emotionally and mentally my preparedness was nothing near what I thought, what I would have considered necessary or ready for the big race, for the big day. And so I'm recording this video because I want you to understand that if you're nervous, or if you're doubting yourself, or if you're just not feeling it in your head, you're not on your own. Because, as I said, over the last few days, I really have felt exactly the same. It's been a case of self-doubt, a lot of really having to force myself to get up and go out training, really not negative thoughts in my head, but worry about little bits and pieces. I got new goggles last week, and when I tried them out during the week, I found that they weren't working for me at all. So that was something that I felt was a good enough reason for me not to get into the pool and not to get out and swim, because the fact that the goggles weren't working. Sure, I still had my old pair that were working relatively okay, but the excuse was that the new goggles weren't working, so it was fine not to do it, kind of thing. Then there was the whole, because that kind of got into my head, and that mentality was seeping down into me and actually acting as an excuse for me not to do anything. And it was very quick and very frightening how quickly, or how quickly I was willing not to go and continue on with something just because the goal was that little bit closer. It's, people are asking me now, how long is it to go? Are you ready? Everything, all those sorts of questions. Nothing negative, everything positive. Fair play. I wouldn't be able to do it. Fair play to you. Look at you. You're doing great, kind of thing. But the excuses in the back of my head were looming, and the thoughts and the negativity. It wasn't negativity as in you can't do it. It was negativity as in excuses as to why I shouldn't do it, or what's the point, or that kind of thing. And I found mentally over the last few days it's been very difficult, but I'm back on track now. In particular, thanks to my big marathon session up in the swimming pool, because I needed to actually push myself, because I got to a point where absolutely comfortable on the bike, absolutely comfortable on the run, but so concerned about the swim, and then pushing myself and going back up to the swimming pool made me just realize there's no problem, there's no issue there. I'm imagining an issue, I'm exacerbating an issue, and I'm using that as an excuse to not get on with it. So knocked that on the head. But that's why I'm talking to you today, because it's so easy to fall into the little trap of not being mentally prepared and not being strong enough to stand up to yourself and say, well, hold on a second, I've done this 10 times, 20 times, 30 times. I've been practicing this for the last 6 months, 12 months, whatever amount of time that you've been doing it. I'm well prepared for it, and nothing's going to stop me from continuing on my goal. You need to really, we all have those moments where we need to fight ourselves and tell ourselves to just shut up. I'm going through with this and I can do it because I can. And again, the other thing about it is as well, especially because it's coming up to my first one, I have this in my head that, I need a podium finish, or I need this to make big. I need some big. And I'm sitting there going, hold on a second, Dorna. This is the first of many. This is a step A to B. This is to get me from being a runner to get me being a triathlete. This is getting me from one sports genre to a second. And it's not even a second, it's actually a third kind of thing. So it's a big jump in and of itself. And with that comes, as I talked about, comes the mental stresses and the mental preparedness that needs to go with it as well. And so for the next few days, I am literally going to be watching what I would deem motivational movies, motivational speeches, anything that I think is going to give me the little bit of hate to get through this. And again, it's not about a podium finish. It's about coming in. It's not about coming in first, second, or third. It's not about coming in 51st, second, or third. It's about finishing this and completing the first step on what will be a long road, because at the end of the day, we're going from nothing at the minute to triathlete at the end of this. So by the end of next week, I will be a triathlete. At the end of 2016, I'm going to be an Ironman, and that is the goal. That is the way we're working this, and that is the way we're going to keep. That's the game plan. So we're going to keep focus on the end game, and the little steps that get us there are going to get us there in their own time. And I'm not going to get overly concerned with regards to anything going on in my head, going on around me. I'm just going to have to remember to focus on my race and run my own race and run at a level I'm comfortable with, and that my brain and my head and my heart can all function at the same time together with. But mental preparedness is something that's sometimes overlooked. So reminding you today that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your brain tells you the week or two before your race. You just keep going with it. It doesn't matter if your brain tells you that you can't do it. You know that your body has done it. You know that you've done it, and you know that you're physically prepared for this, and this is what you've been working up towards for the last however length of time. And remember, if you are ever doubtful, come back and watch this video, because if I can do anything, you can do anything. We can do anything. We just have to put our minds to it. Take care until next time.
This has been an online production.